Hey yo, so I was getting ready to go to bed. Apparently, data mine's already here. So the night is still young. We're going to be burning the midnight oil for sure here. So we're going to cover the refines first for the remix units. We have Bramimon, we got Legendary Crom, Duo Idun. And then we're also going to take a look at the other data mines for the summer banner that we just got the trailer for. And we also have a brand new character, apparently, that was in the data mines that we're going to cover in that later video. So let's just start things off with the new refines and remixes. We're going to start with Legendary Crom first. So Rangritter, 14 might and 2 range. We got effective against armor and cav, of course. So grants attack up 3. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is over 75%, inflicts attack and defense -6 on the foe, and neutralizes units' penalties during combat. Also, if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats plus X to unit during combat, where X is equal to the number of bonus and penalty effects active on the unit times 2 plus 4. Very interesting. Okay, so he's already giving himself attack and defense plus 6, I think, from To Change Fate 2. And then he's also giving himself bonus doubler. So all of that is going to play in here. Number of I guess the bonus statuses, yeah, exclude stat bonuses and stat penalties. So he would be getting 1 here from the guaranteed bonus doubler that he gives himself. And he would also give himself another one because he gives himself isolation as well when using To Change Fate. So that's 2 right there. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 4 is 8. So all stats of 8. And also, if a bonus is active on unit, which it will be, he's getting bonus doubler from his assist. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30%. Okay, they did the thing. They gave him a guaranteed follow-up. That was exactly what he... Well, that was one of the things he needed. There were a couple of other effects they could have gave him that would have been real nice, but I think this is sufficient here. They gave him quite a lot of stats. They gave him a little bit of DR. They gave him also the guaranteed follow-up, so I think this is sufficient. I'm pretty satisfied with this Crom. As you guys know, he's one of my 3 main arena units for the legendary rotations, so pretty good. All right, let's check out Bramimon up next. So Void Tome, 14 might, 2 range, attack up 3. At the start of combat, if foe's attack is greater than or equal to, or if foe's attack is below or equal to 50, or if a penalty is active on the foe, grants attack, defense, and res up 5 to unit during combat. And at the start of combat, if foe's speed is greater than or equal to 35, or if a penalty is active on the foe, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. So he basically just gets stronger if the enemy has a ton of attack or if they have a ton of speed, which they're most likely going to have. Nowadays, units are pushing like 70 plus attack unmerged after all their effects kick in, and we're at like 50 to 60 speed depending on what kind of unit you are. So yeah, very easy effects there. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is over 50%, grants another all stats of 4 to unit during combat. If the foe has a special skill and that foe's maximum special cooldown count is reduced, so if they have special trigger -1, then he grants special cooldown count -1 to himself before his first attack during combat. Oh, that's pretty interesting. And then if foe's attack is over 50 at the start of combat, deals damage during combat equal to 15% of the foe's attack at the start of combat. Also, at the start of combat, if foe's defense or res is over 35, or if a bonus is active on the foe, reduces damage from attacks by X%, where X is the greater of foe's defense or res at the start of combat. Wow, so you just steal their defense or res stat and use that as DR? So if they have 60 defense, you just turn that into 60 points of DR? Oh, well, a max of 50, okay. Alright, so that makes a little more sense. And then excluding AoE specials during combat. So this guy got pretty good as well. They didn't give him -1 special trigger, but they gave him... It's like the Duo Ike skill. I'm not sure what to call this one, but it's like before you attack, you get your special ramp off. So that's pretty helpful. They also gave him a ton more stats, and now they gave him DR here. So he's looking pretty good, especially when you combine this with his new C skill. impenetrable void. Looking pretty good for him. Alright, let's take a look at Duo Idun up next. So, Zephyr Breath, 16 might, HP up 3, 1 range, effective against armor. Grants res up 3. If a bonus is active on unit, or if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack -6 and speed, defense, and res -4 on the foe. Neutralizes unit's penalties, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack during combat. And also adaptive damage, of course, against ranged enemies. And then if the foe initiates combat or the foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, inflicts all stats -4 on the foe during combat. Reduce damage from foe's first attack by 5% or by 5 during combat. Yeah, then they just explain the difference between regular attacks and brave attacks. We already know that. And then recover 7 HP to unit after combat. And also, if unit's res is better than the foe's res, reduce damage from attacks during combat and AoEs by basically 40%. Difference between stats ×4. So, res-based DR. Getting 7 HP recovery. We got 5 points of true damage on the first attack. Inflicting all stats -4. And then over here, she does attack -6. And then speed, defense, and res -4. Yeah, she's doing quite a lot here, man. It kind of reminds me of the refine that they gave to Nagi, except this is better because Idun actually has a lot more to work with. She also has that duo skill, which neutralizes armor and dragon type effective damage. So this doesn't seem too bad for her. It's just that, like, Nagi needed a little something more. But I think this is sufficient for Idun here, so that's pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Gerik up next, I guess, because he is next in line. Desert Tiger Axe, 16 might, 1 range, HP up 3. At the start of turn 1, grant special cooldown count -1 to unit and allies with HP less than units, so he's got built-in infantry pulse. At the start of turn, grants attack and speed up 6, neutralizes units' penalties during combat, and nullify panic to unit and allies with HP less than unit's HP for 1 turn. What? Yo, they turned him into a support unit. Okay. I'll take that. That's very good, dude. Neutralizes penalties during combat and null panic to himself and allies with less HP than him for 1 turn. There's no range limit on this, by the way. It's just at the start of the turn, as long as he has the highest HP, he's doing this. This is really good. What? Was not expecting Gerik, of all people, to get a support refine, but okay. Also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, gets all stats of 4 to unit during combat. If unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of X, where X is 4 plus the highest bonus on each stat between unit and allies in 3 spaces of unit. So assuming +6, that could potentially be all stats of 10. Calculates each stat bonus independently, of course. Reduce damage from foe's first attack by 30%. Neutralizes effects that inflict guard on unit during combat. So yeah, he's pretty goddamn good. This is way better than I expected from him. Okay, let's take a look at Ross up next, because Ross is a demote. Let's see if they gave some love to the demote. Father-Son Axe, 10 might, 1 range, HP up 3. Inflicts speed -5, gives him brave attack, even on the enemy phase, so that's not too bad. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack and defense -5 on the foe during combat, and deals damage equal to 15% of unit's HP at the start of combat. Okay, that's a little different. It's one thing to be getting like 15% true damage based on attacker's speed, but HP? When HP is this high, and on him in particular too, his HP was just really high in general. This is pretty good. Okay. And then he recovers 7 HP after combat. Yeah, man, this is not bad at all for a demote. For a 3-star that's easy to merge, that most people or I don't want to say most, but like a lot of people probably have it +10, and he's been around for a long time. This is not bad at all. All right, let's take a look at Percival here. So, Prized Lance, 16 might, 1 range, HP up 3, -1 special trigger. If unit initiates combat, or if the foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants all stats of 4 to unit, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on the foe per attack. Alright, so he's got guard and all stats of 4. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, gets all stats of 4 again. Deals damage equal to 15% of his speed, and neutralizes effects that guarantee foes' follow-up attacks, effects that prevent his follow-up attacks, and effects that inflict guard on him. So he's got null follow-up, and he's got tempo. He's got 15% true damage based on speed. He's got all stats of 8, and he inflicts guard. And he's got -1 special triggers, so quite a lot there. Unfortunately, you look at this stat line and you just cry in a corner. 32 base attack, man. Yeah, good luck with that. Although he's got true damage based on speed, so it's not as bad as it looks. It's similar to Tanya, where Tanya's base attack looks like Garbo, and it actually is. But they gave her at least true damage, and they gave her adaptive damage, so it helps quite a bit. So it's pretty good. I mean, this is solid. This is not bad by any means. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Kemp. I think Kemp is the last one in this batch, so let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Also, shout-outs to PM1, by the way, for the infographic. I don't remember if I said that at the start. So, Kemp. In America, let's see what you got, Bandit Keith. Venom Edge, 16 might, 1 range, HP up 3, defense up 3. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats of 4 to unit during combat. After combat, if unit attacked, deals 10 damage to target and foes in 2 spaces of target, and inflicts flash on those foes through the next action. And then if the number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1, grants all stats of 4 to unit, and reduces damage from foes' first attack by 30% during combat. And also, after combat, if unit attacked, inflicts Discord on target and foes in 2 spaces. Okay. So now Discord was introduced on the Summer Shamir and Catherine, so now we're getting it on Kemp as well. I can't remember what Discord did. I think it was like Owl Tome, except instead of doing buffs, it does debuffs. Or like form skills, so you would get 2 points of stats for every ally within 2 spaces, and then that's going to be a penalty to the enemy. So let's say the enemy has 3 allies within 2 spaces. That would be -6 to their stats. So Discord is a pretty solid debuff effect to be getting. And then he's doing all this. They gave him a little bit of DR, which is cool. Yeah, he needed that because he wants to be able to initiate the first round of combat safely so he can inflict flash and all his other effects that he gets. So not a bad refine for him. Kemp already had a niche in Pawns of Loki, so this is only going to exemplify that. He's going to be even more annoying. Discord is pretty nutty in Pawns of Loki because they have no choice. They have to be adjacent in there. So yeah, he's going to be putting in work in there, as he already did, but now just even more so. So pretty good batch. I mean, these are really good refines all across the board. I don't think there's a bad one in here. And as far as who is the winner is concerned, I'm kind of looking at Gerik here. I feel like Gerik surprised me the most. But in terms of, like, functionality, I think maybe Bramimond is the winner. Bramimond, I'm pulling for, like, Bramimond, or maybe I think Duo Idun is really good as well. So, like, one of these two. Crom is great. Yeah, he's probably in there too, man. Yeah, like, the top 3 here on this list, they're all really good. They're all going to be meta. They already were kind of meta. But, like, now they're just going to be even more of that. So, let me know in the comments what you guys think about all these refines. And I will catch you guys again in a couple of minutes. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the rest of the data mines.